Hello, my name is Sebastian Mullaert. Welcome to my studio, south of Sweden, in the village Röstånga here in the woods. I've been working with music most of my life, or at least playing around with music. In the past I started the projects Minolog, Soundkite, and the last 5 years I've been focusing more on improvisation, both with other electronic musicians in the Circle of Life project, but also with orchestras such as Tonhalle Zurich and the Subchamber Ensemble here in Sweden. Today I'm gonna dive into how I work with Native Instruments Massive X synthesizer, and also how I take the work with Massive X into a live setting. What's important for me with a synthesizer patch when I play live. My approach in the studio is in quite a radical way to always allow the spark of creativity, to listen to that, to put myself in a place where I'm open enough to feel and sense and follow or allow this spark. And that is also my main intentions with Circle of Life. When playing with other people, how can I invite, how can I help and contribute to that space that we play from in a way that both myself and others feel this free spark and are allowed to listen to that. This could be with other electronic artists like Frank or Matthew Johnson or Doris Borg, or it could be with other classical musicians. When I work with Massive X, there's so many different places where you can include organic behavior in the synthesizer. Everything moves. If you listen to this sound, for example, just take one straight tone. So here's a way, like, this is like a little creature by itself, just playing one tone. So when it comes to the complete control, here I can choose in the Massive X 8 different macros that I can assign to anything within the Massive synth. And here it's easy to go quite wild. Oh, I'm gonna remember this, I'm gonna change that, and when I turn this is gonna happen. And that works when you're in the middle of that process, when you're sitting alone in the studio. If you're on stage, you have an audience, there are other players, you're gonna perform loads of different songs with different sounds. This is normally not something that you remember, and it can just hinder you to actually feel this freedom of playing. So here, all the way to the left, I have the filter. So and then all the way to the right, I have the volume. So I can take it completely away if I want and take it in. For me, always super handy to have these two. And when playing, it could be dark, I could be looking at someone else when I'm playing, then I know on the side points, this is the controls I have. But here's a routing. So I would say that this is a start point when working with the sound in Massive X. So here you can design the signal path through the synthesizer and change it. So for example, here's 2 oscillators, a noise generator that goes into this filter. So here you can jump around, you can change, and you can basically just take one little oscillator and go straight into the output, for example, if you want that. So this is a preset Climbing the Hill. In this stage where we have the wavetables, here I choose something very clean and quite classical. It's a sinus, triangle, saw, square. And as you can see here, it will change between these ones when the wavetable. And of course you can take my presets, jump in here and just choose all kind of different ones. Suddenly it gives a complete different texture and quality to the sound. And in this process with Massive X, it's so quick and easy to change, and also to kind of by accident jump into something you didn't expect. And if you are not thinking about designing something, because this is essentially my process, I just try to keep open and catch it when I feel, this is great. And in the workflow with the Massive X, I think this happens. One of the things that for me is essential when I make the patches is, like when I'm done with the routing, I'm choosing these different wavetables and choosing a filter, etc. Then comes the modulation. And here's a whole bunch of different ways of modulate in Massive X. You have 3 envelopes. Here you have 6 different types, or 6 different LFOs in different types. And what I really like with working here in the computer with Massive X is that I can quickly change what is modulating what just by dragging and dropping. For example, here you can see L4. L4 is this LFO. So here I can even just see when I scroll the mouse over and it highlights what is modulated. I can take it away. I can just show you how it works. Take the LFO and I drop it in any place. It could be the LFO changing the wavetable. For example, if I do like this now, then I drag it, then the LFO will start to change the wavetable here. So here with this pad, beams of light, I would have this and freely jam on top of what's playing in the sketch, or if another instrument is playing. So here I have a little sequence from the actual sketch, and I take the pad and as you can hear, there is a movement in the sound. So I choose to actually have certain an LFO and an envelope that moves around with a filter automatically. But then I always also map the filter, so I can always add a certain tone or character to the filter with a knob as well. So you have these two, the automated modulation that creates an organic touch to the sound, and the macros that I mapped so I can control it when I play. Also very important, I always map each sound to a physical fader. I want always to have that control to quickly change the volume or even add a certain energy and feel with the fader to the sound. Like for example this. Allowing improvisation in your way of playing and designing sounds. It's not only about rhythm, harmonies, melody, etc. It's a lot about frequencies. It's a lot about textures and the feeling of the actual sound. Wetness in the leaves, on the mushrooms, maybe a beam of light sparking through these branches. This is it's almost like a room, a space. Close your eyes and just float in here. Do you feel that spark to play something? Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you got inspired. What I really want you to take with you is try to arrange with your fingers and with loops without clicking things out. Download all the sounds, my presets, and jam with them and actually win 5 slots for my mentorship program in Bloom. We also give away 1 full native instrument complete 13 bundle and 3 Massive X licenses. So see this invitation as something that is very basic and fun. Play with it. Thank you.